Welcome back to Dark Corner's Physical Media Reviews. We're looking at a 2-disc set of silent horror classics from underrated writer-director Henrik Galeen, released by Deaf Crocodile, who are building a collection of quirky gems of world cinema into which these films definitely fit. When we reviewed 1928's Alraune for our streaming strand, I said it was impossible to judge the film definitively in the condition we were watching, and that it was waiting on a widely available restoration. Thanks to Deaf Crocodile and the Filmmuseum München, it can now be seen in pristine condition, and in a version not just longer than any available online, but longer than it is listed as being on any of the usual sites, at 2 hours and 15 minutes, and with some censored scenes, now lost, represented by stills. Inevitably, the film looks better now, and it does make a difference, catching the subtleties in the performances of Brigitte Helm and Paul Wegener. I feel it moves better as well. This is a lot longer than any version I've previously watched, but it didn't feel it to me. Decidedly not expressionist, Alraune still uses some of the trademarks of the movement in its twisted tale. With shades of Frankenstein, Helm's Alraune is the product of science and the supernatural, using mandrake root and artificial insemination to create a predatory woman toying with danger and seducing men, culminating in her own surrogate father. The film playing with aspects of the liberated Weimar New Woman, whom Helm would come to embody cinematically, a subject thoroughly dissected in Jan Christopher Horak's commentary. Helm's performance contrasts wildness with icy intensity. She is great in this and holds you through some of the film's more sluggish moments. I do still have my reservations about Alraune, but I have none about the second film in this set, The Student of Prague, a Faustian tale of a man who sells his reflection to the devil. A remake of what is sometimes considered the first feature-length horror film, Galeen's 1926 version stars Conrad Veidt and Werner Krauss, both of Cabinet of Dr. Caligari fame, and features striking imagery, expressionist shadows, and clever effects work. Note that Veidt has no reflection. But, like Alraune, what keeps a relatively long film engaging is the performances. Veidt, one of the most emotionally expressive actors. Krauss, the consummate character actor. I would also like to mention Eliza Laporta, who is vivacious and heartbreaking as Lidushka, and this would be the star-making moment of her brief career. It's a terrific film with action, menace, atmosphere, all working together to convey the psychological, fatalist drama. Amongst the extras, the new commentaries by Jan Christopher Horak are strong on context, surprisingly light on the films themselves, except to describe the events of the film before we've actually reached that scene. This is particularly true of Alraune. Some of the context is very interesting, the careers of those involved and Helm's increasing dissatisfaction with typecasting, but I could have done without a 5-minute examination of incest in culture and lore across the world. It is also very slow. These are great films. I would have liked some enthusiasm and more on the film itself rather than the CVs of all involved and the history of student societies. There's a 90-minute interview of Filmmuseum München's Stefan Drossler by Deaf Crocodile's Dennis Bartok, all about the preservation of the film and the restoration of missing elements. 2 passionate men geeking out about film preservation, and you can hear more from Bartok on Deaf Crocodile's podcast. Also, a 15-minute clip from rarely seen crime drama 1924's Dangerous Paths, featuring Galeen as both writer and actor. For the deluxe collector's edition only, there's also an interesting booklet containing a surprising amount of contemporary material, including articles by Galeen and by novelist Hans-Heinz Ewers, and the handsome cover art of Dave McKean. But this edition is already sold out, so sorry. It's a solid package, but the prize here is finally seeing Alraune fully restored. It's a much better film than I ever previously realised. And seeing The Student of Prague as good as it has ever looked off of a big screen. Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe, and please let us know your thoughts on these films in the comments below.